Hey guys, Sandy here, and I am scrapbooking this photo of my husband and I on our anniversary last year. This is when we were getting ready to go to dinner. I have 3 layouts that I'm going to be doing about our anniversary. One I've already done, and this is the second one, and then I have one more of the restaurant we went to. So I've decided to pull out some cream, white, and black, and they are all, well, this is the same sheet of paper, but they are different shades. Some black and white, some gold houndstooth from Fancy Pants, and these are some Simple Stories snap pack cards. And I'm going to play around with squares today. I've seen a lot of people messing around with circles lately, and while I like circles, I am a fan of the square. So we're going to scrapbook with some squares. Let's see what I can do. So I'm starting out by inking all of the squares that I have cut out, and I've cut them out in various sizes. I believe they are 4x4, 3x3, maybe 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, something like that. I don't remember the exact sizes, but I'm just using my Distress ink pad to ink the edges of them, because I'm going to be layering them up and piling them all around, and I want the edges to have just a little bit of definition so that when you're looking at them, I want them to blend together but not morph together. Does that make sense? So I'm just trying to figure out which way will look good, and I'm just thinking I'm going to run some of them off the page, and then some of them are going to say completely on the page. And I'm just making sure that I like the layers. And then I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you know what, it needs something else besides these squares directly on this green piece of paper. Now, this green cardstock I pulled from the green and the little, the floral pieces on those two, like that maroon and then that aqua color floral. The green is a pretty good match, but it needed something else. So I went to my scraps and grabbed this cream and black striped paper, and I believe that that is from a La Creme Die Cuts with a View stack. Loved that Die Cuts with a View stack. I think it's from that one. Had all kinds of loveliness. So I'm just plopping this down on the page just to give it a little bit of a base layer, just so that it's just a little bit of something down there, that it's not all this green. Like, I want the green to pop, but I don't want the squares to be swallowed up in the sea of green. And when I decide to put that striped piece across, I decide that I totally need to redo how I had these squares. And if I'm completely honest, I don't remember exactly how I had the squares. I know that there are some scrapbookers that take pictures of it, and that makes complete sense to me. But for some reason, it just didn't make sense to me in this moment. Now, I also realized that I wanted to mat my photo. I thought I was just going to plop the photo right on the squares because it would be so much paper, like there would be so many layers. But I felt like the photo kind of got lost. So I chose this cream and diagonal stripe, and it just gives it a little bit of an edge. So we, in this photo, aren't kind of lost in all of these scraps of paper. And I'm just messing around and moving these scraps around because I don't want huge gaps. Like, I don't want awkward gaps. And I'm okay if part of that paper from the background peeks through. Like, I'm totally okay with that. But what I'm not okay with is like really super awkward gaps. And I mess around with this for a little while, and if you can see that light across my page, it's later in the afternoon now, and my windows, the way the windows are set up, when it gets later in the afternoon, the sun just does this weird like shadow thing across, so I just get this glare. Eventually, I'm going to realize that the glare's there. This has happened before to me, and it took me a long time to realize that the glare was there. I realize it a little bit quicker this time, I think, and I go and change my blinds out. Like, there we go. Here we go. But the way the blinds are, there's still like a gap. Like, so we're still getting that ray of sunlight across the page. So it is what it is. One day I'll get this lighting and camera and setup all figured out. But that's it's a priority. Honestly, it is a priority. I want to do it. My husband has picked out everything he wants to get. But honestly, I'm spending my time scrapbooking and not messing around with that stuff. Just because the scrapbooking is what makes me feel good. It's my de-stressor. It's my escape from the world, and, play with pretty paper and glue and move stuff around. So that's just a little bit of insight. Playing with paper just relaxes me. Now this is a piece of a KI Memories border sticker, and this has been in my Rediscover Your Stash kit, and I really wanted to use, if I could, all of them. I think there's only like one more border sticker left. So we'll see if I get finished with that one border sticker, if I have enough time, because I am going to Disney, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to scrapbook enough to get it finished, but who knows? We might. So I put that border sticker up at the top, and I did split it because I figured I would have the photo and some of the squares overlap that border sticker, so you wouldn't even notice that it didn't go all the way across the page. So, and my whole idea and design has changed. Like, when I first started this layout, in my head, I saw these squares just kind of like slapped on the page, but very, very linear, slapped on the page in a very linear fashion, and my photo on top of it and the title across it. Like, I could see it in my mind's eye, but when I actually put it to page and put the paper down, I wasn't feeling it. But I do like what I've come up with here. Now, these colors don't match the other anniversary layout that I have at all. Like, not at all. And the way I'm going to tie these two layouts together, because honestly right now I don't know if they're going to be facing each other in the album or if they're going to be on opposite, like pages where you flip. I'm just not sure. So how I'm tying them together is some flowers. That Maggie Holmes carousel paper, where it's the cream with the black outline flowers, that's how I'm going to kind of tie the two pages together. I'm going to fussy cut some flowers out of those papers. And I'm thinking about this while I'm trying to use that one. See, I don't even like it. I just toss it to the side. But, and I'm not saying you even have to have something tying the layouts together, because I have layouts on the left side that completely are not color matched. It's not the same event. It's nothing alike. Two totally separate styles. One could be lots of splatters and sprays, and one could be very simple, a very simple layout. And I put them next to each other in the album because I like all my layouts. And, well, I like that I have all the layouts finished. I can't say I'm like totally in love with all my layouts, but when I'm finished with a layout, I'm like, yes, it's done. That's good. Check it off. Good job. So I'm okay with it being like different stuff in different albums and different things facing each other. I'm totally okay with it because my life is not seriously in order and everything matchy-matchy. And, sometimes life is just a mess. And not saying that means that albums are a mess that looks like that, but my life isn't organized to that point, so my albums aren't going to be organized to that point. Now, I did not make you guys watch me fussy cut out these flowers. You are welcome. So I cut these out. I just cut out three floral areas. So that one big one is going to be over here. And I thought that my title was actually going to go on the top of it, but it doesn't. Spoiler alert. And then I wanted something on the top of the page, but I knew that flower just hanging out at the top wasn't enough. So while I'm, messing around with this flower over on the left, I'm looking at this and realizing that something's got to go up the top. And I'm just fixing a little leaf there, I believe. One of the, like the viney, ferny looking leaves, I don't remember if I ripped it or when I was fussy cutting it, I accidentally snipped through it. One or the other happened, and I just needed to glue that down a little bit. All right, so this is where I look under that pile of paper I have right there and realize I have this striped paper and figured I could repeat it by placing it up at the top. And I'm just going to trim off that extra edge right there. Speaking of trimmers, do you guys have a trimmer that you really love? I've thought multiple times about getting a rotary trimmer instead of these little Fiskars. I call them flip and slap trimmers because they flip and slap. I've always had the Fiskars flip and slap trimmer way back when it was gray and orange, and I've had various versions and editions of it, because eventually I feel like the Fiskars trimmers just stop cutting straight lines. Like eventually they just do. Something happens and they just stop cutting straight lines, and then you have to replace them. And this one's starting to get a little worn out. Like I'm rubbing off the grid marks kind of at the bottom. So I'm just putting a little bit of a feeler out there. So I pulled off Lucky Ones from the Amy Tangerine. We Are the Lucky Ones. I think that's what it's called. We Are the Lucky Ones, or the Lucky Ones thicker sheet. And I don't use the, because I want We Are the in a different font. And I have these little round, like puffy stickers that I've had for a long time, and I figure those would be perfect. And here I'm messing with the idea of bringing more of that gold glitter in, and I don't like it. So I'm just like, nope, I'm done. Now, however, I did bring up a little teeny tiny bit of gold up at that top portion with that washi tape. It's like a cream washi tape with a gold polka dot. So I did do that. And I want some words on here, but there's really not a great place for me to journal. I don't really want to journal on that green cardstock. Like it's a dark color and I'm just not feeling it. So I go through my little Tim Holtz word stickers and I'm just looking for something that is, lovey and kind of mushy. I mean, it's our, what year is this? 2016? It was our 18th anniversary, so, it's okay to be a little lovey and a little mushy. So I get those, and then I find one, it's a little bit too long, so I just trim it and then overlap it on that, kind of that maroon floral paper. And I think I'm going to pull out one more and I'm going to put it down on the bottom. And I'm thinking about like having a bunch there, and I'm like, no, that's not what I want. I'm going to put it down here somewhere. All right, yay, good spot. And I'm just thinking it needs a little bit of something. It needs some little things. It needs some little bits and bobs. So I pull out these puffy hearts that I got in a Citrus Twist kit. I believe it was in August. And they are pink and like a dark, almost a maroon color. And I believe I have a couple of these pale teal ones too that kind of go with the other little teeny floral square paper down there. So I'm just splattering them around, and I don't mind that I'm putting a ton of hearts on this page. Like I said, it's a lovey-dovey page. It's our anniversary, so it's not, to me, it's not a big deal if there's hearts all over. Like there could be even more hearts, and I would be cool with it. And then I'm just, what am I doing here? Just kind of messing around and adjusting and trying to find, so I have these old K.I. Memories, not K.I. Memories, K and Company chipboard pieces, and they're chipboard stickers, and they're in my Rediscover Your Stash kit, and I'm thinking to myself that I really, really want to use some of these up because they've been in the stash kit, and I don't think I've touched them yet. So I pull them out, and I pull out they're kind of like a creamy green color. And I'm like, yep, this will work. I've got the green, I've got these creamy colors. It's totally going to work. So I pull out this little scrolly piece, and I do decide to cut it in half and kind of have both halves coming out of this big floral piece that's on the left. So this is like the main area of embellishment is right here with this big floral piece. And I just tuck it up under there, and I'm happy with it. I'm like, yes, this works. It adds a little bit to it, and I'm totally cool with it. And if I would have had enough curly Q blings like that, I probably would have put some of those on the page because I like the little curly Q blings. And this one I just tuck up there under the flowers just to give it a little of that color up there at the top. And that's going to finish the page. And I am done, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Go ahead, leave me a comment, and hit subscribe if you haven't done it already. And I'll see you guys later.